SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information.
To SBR Forum's Euro Football Weekly Show, I'm Natalie Rydström. It's our first show of the week, and today I'm joined by Richard O'Hagan. He's our in-house sports writer and regular contributor to our shows. We're going to be taking a look at a few of the Premier League matches taking place this weekend from a betting perspective. Richard, welcome to the show.
Hi there, Natalie. Nice to be with you.
Now, the first match I'd like us to preview is Aston Villa versus Everton playing on Saturday. The home team are down in 13th position, dropping a place when they lost to Tottenham over the weekend 2-0 at Villa Park. They have the home advantage, although that didn't help last time, and they also have the longest odds, priced at 3.5 with Will Hill. Now, Everton, they won their weekend game to Hull 2-1 at Goodison Park, and they have the shortest odds to win, priced at 2.25 with Coral. Now, firstly, how do you see this match playing out? What can we expect?
Well, Natalie, I think this is going to be quite a close game. Villa have played reasonably well at Villa Park this year, which they don't always do. One of their former managers actually had a theory that Villa Park was too intimidating for his own players, and that's held true over a number of years. But this year, they're actually doing quite well at home, and they look like they can be a solid mid-table team in the Premier League this year after struggling against relegation last year. So they're up against an Everton side who have been playing surprisingly well, given the fact they lost their manager and they lost key players over the summer. Everton went unbeaten until 2 weeks ago, when they rather surprisingly lost that unbeaten record, and they're going to be a tough proposition. But I can see it being a real old-fashioned footballing battle, this one. Both sides congesting the midfield and very few chances on either side.
You're right, they certainly can play well at home. I think it was September 28th, they beat Manchester City at home 3-2. Eyes were certainly on the villains after that. But since that win, they drew to Hull a disappointing 0-0, and then they lost their match over the weekend to Tottenham. So any chance now they can pull another surprise out of the bag like they did in the Man City game?
Oh, certainly. They usually seem to reserve their decent performances for the teams that are in contention at the top of the table. And although they didn't do that against Spurs at the weekend, that was a very surprisingly lacklustre performance. I certainly think that they can beat this Everton side on a reasonably good day.
Right. Now, looking at the last 5 head-to-heads, 4 of those have actually ended in a draw. First was in April 2011 at Goodison Park, 2-2. Then in September 2011, also at Goodison Park, was another 2-2. Then at Villa Park, 1-1 in January 2012. Then Everton beat Aston Villa at Villa Park, 3-1 in August 2012. Then their most recent head-to-head, they drew 3-3 at Goodison Park. So what are your thoughts of making a bet on the draw priced at 3.4 with Paddy Power? Surely that looks tempting.
It looks very tempting, but both on current form and on history, Villa and Everton have a rich history of playing out draws. Many years ago, they played a cup final in which there were 3 draws before there was actually a result. There's also a very, very famous game involving the two sides where one player scored all 4 goals. It was a 2-2 draw. He scored twice for his own side and scored 2 own goals. So a draw between Villa and Everton is always a good bet.
Okay, and what is your pick for this match?
Well, I'm going a little bit out on a limb here. Villa's Christian Benteke's been out of the starting lineup since they beat Norwich a month ago. He came back at the weekend against Spurs, had 30 minutes. I think he'll be in the starting lineup for this game. So I'm going for him to be the opening goal scorer at 6-5, and maybe have a bit of a dabble on a 1-1 draw as well.
Okay, interesting picks there. Richard, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.